So I'm gonna wait for more people to get in here. See how many people get in here first. But how are you guys doing today? Let me know how my sound is. Y'all know I'm still new to this whole live stream situation because I don't even know what I'm doing for real. But I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about the recent community tab drama, Black women being on code. So many people, so many Black women have their own definition of what it means to be on code. And I want to ask you guys, what does being on code to you mean? No, I'm not speaking on any YouTuber in this video, and I would appreciate if you guys didn't mention any other YouTubers in my comments. Well, Raven, other Black women don't want positive content. And, I saw this happen to, I will be mentioning one YouTuber. I saw this happen to Tanya TKO here on YouTube. And, you know, what a lot of people on YouTube don't understand is we as YouTube creators, we make content that is basically requested. I can't remember the last time I made content that I truly, truly wanted to make outside of my wig commentary that I just recently made. Every day, I'm getting DMs, I'm getting emails to talk about certain things. This was no different. So I get irritated when I have Black women in my comment section talking about, well, this isn't on code. So why were so many people sending me this stuff? If that's the case, if we're going to criticize in private, I wouldn't have spoke on Asian Doll. I wouldn't have spoken on Summer Walker. Do I need to continue my list? Because this is not the first time that I've ever spoke out against the behavior of Black women. Let's keep it real. The only reason Black women were so upset was because of the nature of the content, and it was because it was a white man. The only reason Black women care so much is because they care about what Black men think. And that is not my problem. Black men don't run me, especially the ones that don't have a job, don't be paying no bills, don't be starting no businesses. They're not doing nothing with their life, but they don't have any type of hold on me. I'm going to speak what I want to talk about. At the end of the day, you guys care too much about what they think. I don't even watch that side of YouTube unless I'm doing research, unless I am seeking out information that I want to learn more about. Otherwise, that side of YouTube does not see me. And if you weren't comparing yourselves to what they think, you would not care. I wouldn't care. I don't care about the Black man's opinion. I don't care. I know who I want to go to when I need a man's opinion. And it's not YouTube. It's not YouTube. It's not Twitter. It's not Instagram. I know who I want to go to get solid advice, to get advisory. I know who I want to go to. Again, Asian Doll's image is not a good image. Point blank, period. It's not a good image. Summer Walker is not a good image. All of it's not a good image for Black women, period. It's not a good image at all. Are we going to keep it real, or are we going to switch it up because it's a white man and it has to deal with interracial dating? Let's keep it a stack. This is why I don't even know what code to follow, because you guys switch it up. I don't even know what code to follow. Are we going according to what's morally wrong? Or are we going according to what Black women feel? And that's even all over the place, and it's very selective because one side of Black women are saying, oh, I don't see anything wrong with the content, then this other side of Black women is saying, oh, it's bad for our image. So is mainstream media. Let's take a look at mainstream media. Let's take a look at Instagram. Let's take a look at us praising these lyrics when it comes to these rap songs. Let's take a look at that, because we can't just start with this photo. That's not a private individual. She's a part of an organization. She's married to a man that is part of an organization. It's public, clearly, because it's on the internet. So if we're making this about image, let's look at it all. Let's not just look at this particular image because it has to deal with interracial dating. I mean, and then this is another thing. I was looking at some of the other commentary that had to deal with the restaurant situation about the Black women that were twerking in a Black owned restaurant. You guys were very concerned about the image then. You guys wanted us to talk about it then. And this is another thing, because I was thinking about this earlier. You guys keep comparing yourselves to Black men. Oh, well, Black men would stay on code. And look at their social group. You say that proudly as if that means something. It don't mean nothing to me. Look at their social group. Their social group collectively is not performing. Why? Because they don't hold each other accountable. That's why. Their image is trash. Why? Because they don't hold each other accountable. So you guys are throwing that up in my face like that means something. It don't mean nothing to me. Their social group looks the way that it does because they don't hold other Black men accountable. They don't check them. They don't compete with the men in their social group, in their gender. They don't compete. So you guys keep using that as some form of reference. It don't mean nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. And that is why their social group looks a hot mess, collectively speaking, because they don't hold each other accountable. So if we're going to be interracially dating, we need to be smart about who we're procreating with. I deleted my community tab because I don't, that back and forth, that drama, that's not why I make content. So when it starts to lead down that path, I delete it and I block people. And it's no secret. If you start attacking me on a personal level, you're blocked. It's not a secret at all. So I don't know why people will be like, oh, why is she deleting comments? Why is she? I do it purposely because you guys are not about to come on my platform and run a narrative. So if you mention other YouTubers, you're being derogatory, block, delete. I don't play that. That's drama. That's how drama gets started. This is how issues between other bloggers and content creators get started. So once you start going down that road, once you start going down that path, delete and block. I don't have time for that. That's just messy. No, McLean, I'm sorry. I did not block you. I had to block the other girl, but no, I did not block you. You can disagree. I'm not asking you guys to agree, but be respectful about it. Because we all have a different way of interpreting things. We all have our own perspectives and understandings of certain things that are happening in the world. And I do appreciate my following and I do appreciate what you guys bring to my platform. You guys bring perspectives. You guys bring a different way of thinking, a different way of understanding. But at the end of the day, when something doesn't make sense to me, it simply does not make sense. And if we can't hold each other accountable, and then use the excuse, well, Black men stay on code. Look at them. Look at their social group. It's trash, collectively speaking. Look at their statistics, collectively speaking. My post wasn't to bash this woman. At the end of the day, we all have our own issues. We all have our own choices. But let's not pretend that Black men are the only ones that deal with self-hatred. Black men, exactly. Black men being on code is dangerous. Me pretending to be on code behind this photo is very dangerous to Black women. Very dangerous. That's not healthy at all. Not with the nature of the content, not with the nature of who the Proud Boys organization, what it means and what it is. But at the end of the day, if this is a woman that chooses to be with a man like that, that is her choice. She has every right to choose that. But what I'm saying, because I made my content, my commentary about the simple fact that use your personal discernment. Stop putting people in a place of being a savior for you as a Black woman, because the history of it is none of these groups collectively have ever been there for us. To clarify the topic, I'm speaking about the community tab drama. If you're not aware of the community tab drama, it's just a lot to really get into. But there's this photo of this lady who's married to a white man who's a part of the Proud Boys organization. And so her photo is floating around, being that and there's multiple photos at this point. There's multiple photos at this point. It has gone viral. And then this is another thing. A lot of these things that we talk about go viral. We can't speak on these things if they don't go viral, because we understand people are not going to watch. We can only speak about the things that go viral. So it was a big thing. Her husband being on the news, it was a really, really big thing with the nature of society and everything that is going on. That is why. And I kept getting DMs about the situation. And in the beginning, I was ignoring it. I didn't want to talk about it because I'm tired of talking about this stuff. It's draining me. This is why I haven't even been on YouTube. Exactly. Black women, once again, made something that they labeled negative for their image to go viral. Why is that? The only reason why we're speaking about it is because of us. And like I said, under my community tab, not one Black man sent me that post. Not one. Not one. But being on code means Black women are minding their business. So how did this go viral then? I'm not speaking on any YouTubers, and I would like it if you guys don't mention any YouTubers in my comment section. So if I see you mentioning another YouTuber in my comment section, I'm blocking people, because that is how drama gets started. Black male code is dangerous, but Black men are successful at controlling their narrative in our community because they are on code. And where has it gotten them? Where has it gotten them? Left. Yes, how do I make you? Let me add you, sis. Holland Lord, I'm gonna make you. Hold on, there's another one. Yes, there was so many women that kept DMing me about this. So Demi Miller says, yes, gosh, I don't know why Black women were so quick to show this. I don't know why. I don't know why Black women kept DMing me about it. And to be honest, that's her business. This is a woman. She has every right to choose her life, just like black men have every right to choose who they date. Consider, hold on, wait a minute. Because not all black women want what's best for black women. Consider the intentions of women who sent this to you. This is where discernment is important. I agree. And that's the thing. There's no, and then among women, period. Let's just take out black for a sec. Let's take out black for a sec. As a woman, period. It doesn't matter what race, ethnicity you are. There's no code for us. I recently learned that last year because the only reason Jessica, and I hate even putting Jessica's name with this title, but it's just the truth. Jessica, the woman who went viral for being average at best, right? The only reason this lady went viral was because of black women. So what code are we really living by? Because it just seems like whenever there's penis involved, and I have to keep it all the way real, whenever there's penis involved, women lose all sight of common sense. Women, period. It doesn't have anything to do with color. Women, period, lose all sight of common sense. All sight. I experienced that last year when it comes to dating and how competitive women can be over a man. All over some penis. So y'all want to talk about code? There's no code, period. That's the reality of the situation. This is why I'm always telling you guys, focus on yourself. Do what is best for you. F everyone else. But you guys like to give men so much credit, so much attention, so much influence over you. And that's what I can't stand. Everyone wants to talk about pick me this and pick me that. If you're not giving them any type of energy, influence, or anything, they're dead to you. They mean nothing to you. But you guys feed into it every single time. You care. And then you sit up on this app and you pretend like you're unbothered, but then you go over there with low self-esteem. You go over there with low confidence and you listen to their commentary and you take in what they say as if it's God or gospel or the Bible or something. When in reality, you make up your own rules for your life. People don't. Not your parents, not anyone. If you choose to live your life a certain way, that's a choice you're making. It's not dictated or based off of anyone else's ideologies, commentary, opinions. It's based off of what you want out of life. So when I say men don't run me, men don't run me. I don't care what they say over there on that side of YouTube because they don't run me. They don't influence me. They don't motivate me. I'm going to do me for me. I'm going to live my life for me. Why? That's self-love. That is self-love. Why go listen to commentary that basically is telling you to lower your standards? You should know what your worth is. You shouldn't be going over to that side of YouTube to lower your standards. To have a man tell you, who knows nothing about you for real, not on a personal level, tell you about how you should live your life. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And when I mentor women, because I haven't been on YouTube for another reason, is because my mentorship program is really taking off. And for half of my session, the reason why it's an hour long is because I'm trying to get to know you. I can't give you guidance without knowledge of knowing who you are and who you are trying to become. I can't give you any type of leadership. I have to get to know you. So if you go to that side of YouTube, they are setting you up for failure. because I see women as individuals. I don't see them as this collective group where they all carry themselves the same, they all behave the same, they all talk the same, they all want the same things. Sophia, it's always a dusty man with a turtleneck telling black women how they should be a woman. Very backwards logic. And at this point, you guys, I don't listen to men. I know who I can trust when it comes to advice. When it comes to really getting solid advice, and it has to come from a person that knows me on a personal level or is trying to get to know me on a personal level. But I also understand why women do it. Some women don't have that privilege of that male, healthy, masculine, right, man in their life to advise them. So I understand. I understand. I understand why some women do it, but I'm here to tell you a man cannot truly advise you without really knowing you. They just can't, because they need to identify your light side and your shadow side. They need to identify your good things and then your flaws. As a person with a platform, you need to realize how you contributed to this image, though. What image? What image are we speaking on? Because so many people want to get on me. Y'all don't hold these rappers to the same accountability that y'all be trying to hold us YouTube commentators, black women commentators. Y'all in my section trying to check me before you even hold Megan Thee Stallion accountable. All these other rappers that really, really negatively affect your image in media. They have a way bigger following than me, but you feel the need to check me. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, we can speak on the hypersexualization of black women in media now, but you want to get on me about a photo because I was asked to speak on it, but you can't even check these artists? That's crazy to me. What the F does Megan and rappers have to do with this if you're doing the same thing? I'm not doing the same thing. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. I don't even post my body to the internet anymore because every time I do, it's sexualized. That's the thing. I support women who are choosing to divest. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything. That's what you guys don't understand. I am able to support people and not do what they do. And I don't think you guys understand that. Just because I support something doesn't mean I have to go out and do what y'all doing. I support my friends, don't mean I go out and do what they do. Don't mean I actually uh, take on their full ideology and take on their full lifestyle for something that's beneficial to me. If it's beneficial to them and it's working for them and it's healthy for them and it's positive for them, you have my full support. Period. Doesn't mean that I have to take on your lifestyle. It's a choice. We all have choices. We all have choices. So this code that you women are talking about when it comes to the whole divesting community for black women, that code does not apply to me. I am a supporter and it's just that simple. I support black women, period. I don't care what it is. As long as it's healthy, it's positive, you're being loved, you're being appreciated, you have my support. Doesn't mean I have to live your lifestyle. I support interracial dating. I support same-sex marriages, same-sex relationships for black women. I support being sexually fluid. I support trans women to a certain extent. And when I say that, as long as I'm not being negatively affected, I support Black trans women. I support the issues that they go through and that they face, the violence that they face. I support them. Doesn't mean I have to agree with every little thing. You don't have to live the lifestyle to stay on. And that's what I'm saying. Yet you guys have not defined what being on code, what does that even mean? And who is defining it? Who is defining what it means to be on code? And that's another thing. Everyone on this app is perfect. Everyone on this app gets it right. Everyone on this app is just living their best life. Everyone on this app is just perfect. Yes, the code seems to shift according to the agenda. That's how I feel. So me being an individual, I live according to my own code, and my code is this. It's morals, values, and principles. How do I define what my morals, values, and principles are? I ask this very simple question. Does it affect the next person in a negative way? Is it harmful to the next person? Does this cause harm to someone else? That's how I'm able to define code. So in my mind, depending on how you look at this photo, it could be harmful in so many different ways. Does it cause confusion? I don't know what confusion has to do with anything. I know who I am. I know how I want to live my life. So someone confusing me in my life, it's impossible. I'm my own person. I can't be easily influenced. I'm not an easily influenced individual. I am my own person. So confusion, gossip is confusion. These celebrities and their music causes confusion for a lot of folks. So if we're going to speak on confusion, let's address all of it. Let's not address just a piece of it to where it fits your agenda currently in this moment. If we're going to speak on confusion, because a lot of people are confused. I just don't understand. I wouldn't care. The devil, thank you. It's confusion. Listen, I don't listen. It's about to get very, very simple for me. It's about to get very, very simple for me. It's about to get very, very simple for me. And this is what happened to any YouTubers out here when you support people and then it's a certain social group or a small collective group of people. And then the first sight of them not agreeing with you, they want to bash you. They want to belittle you. They want to discredit you. And this is why I mind my business. Because as a content creator, I get to choose what I put on this platform. I didn't have to post anything about Black women divesting and being a supporter of it. I could have just stayed to myself. I could have just stayed to myself. I didn't have to come out to speak about it. I was just simply showing my support, which I felt like you guys needed because you guys are constantly getting bashed, belittled. And then when someone is offering an olive branch, and because you don't agree with every little thing, you want to bash them. Doesn't make sense to me. And then the only reason you're upset is because of the same men that you're claiming to divest from. You're upset because you're afraid of what they think of this photo. Why do you care? Because if you're really out here divesting and doing what's best for you, you wouldn't give a damn. You wouldn't care. That's the reality of the situation. You would not care. You would not care. The olive branch was my support. The olive branch was even bringing the video to my platform. So y'all care too much. That's why I feel like sometimes sometimes I'm not saying all black women. I'm not. But I feel like this whole divesting movement is really being driven by spite. And that's not good. Anything that's built from a negative place, a bitterness place, is never going to be successful, and it's not going to bring you true fulfillment and happiness. So that's what it's starting to feel like for me. And now I feel like I have attracted a audience that I don't want. All because I was simply supporting people and how different they are. Some divestors want black women who defend black men to hold black men accountable, but won't hold their own divestors or black women accountable. And that's what I'm saying. It's all agenda driven. It's not driven by morals, principles, and values. And that is what I live by. That is what I live by. I live by morals, principles, and values with everything that I do. And if I didn't live by these things, I wouldn't even be able to bring you commentary, because I wouldn't have a foundation to pull my commentary from. If something is morally wrong, it's morally wrong. I don't care who's doing it. Bad people come in all shapes and sizes, genders and heights. That's the reality of the world that we live in. And this is another thing, and I'm going to just leave it at this, because so many women were saying, oh, stay on code. Yeah, but this is morally wrong. And they use the excuse, well, it's the image. Okay, so let me put it like this. If a black woman was out here molesting a child, right? But being on code means not saying anything because it's a bad image for black women. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? That sounds ridiculous. So I'm not supposed to help this child out because the image is bad for black women. Do you see how harmful that is? That's very harmful to me. It's very, very harmful. And where did you guys get this inspiration from? Where did you guys get the inspiration from? Black women. No, black men. You guys got this inspiration from black men who are abusive and don't hold other black men accountable. That's where you got it from. That's who your influence is. So if this black woman was openly molesting, and it could be another woman, it could be another black girl. It doesn't have to be a black boy, a little black boy. It could be a little black girl. Say she was molesting a little black girl. But because the image is harmful, you claim, right? You don't call this woman out because you don't want her image. You don't want the black woman's image to be affected. You know, that's the same ideology abusive black men have. That's why I don't agree with it. But how did I come to this conclusion? Me being an individual, me pulling from my morals, values, and principles. That's how I came up with this understanding. That's why I didn't necessarily agree. That's very harmful. It's very harmful. That rhetoric is harmful. And this is why I feel like it's spite. Because you're literally condoning poor behavior all to one up what? An abusive black man? I'm not comparing child molesters to divesting. I'm comparing the ideology and the thought process. the mentality. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. No, I'm not. That's the direction you really want to take because that's your only argument. That's not the direction that I'm taking. It's the thought process, it's the ideology, and it doesn't make any sense at all. And for you to even have a mentality like that, I have to question what other morals and values are you compromising in order to fit this narrative? I have to ask that question. Because the way morals and values, they apply to your life, period. That's why I feel like it's just pure spitefulness. It's pure bitterness. And if your whole end game and your whole end goal is to be happy, why not just do that? It's just I don't know why black women just can't go do them. It's so easy to me. It's so simple to me. Just go do you. Like actually log off the internet and go live your best life. With whomever. Man, woman, white, black, Mexican, Asian. Go be happy. That's what I want black women to do. I want black women to log off and go be happy. Just for 24 hours. This is why I log off. This is why I haven't been on here a week because I'm out happy. Doing something fun. Entertaining someone new. Why? Because I have the pleasure to be able to do that. Dating someone new. Doing something new. Making a new hobby. Doing something that I want, that I love. Hanging around good people. Not sitting up on the internet arguing with people all day. And this is why it's like that photo didn't bother me because at the end of the day, I don't care what these black men do and what they think. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Black men don't run me. Black men don't run me. They don't run me. My happiness is not defined by them and what they do and what they think and their opinions. But that's me being free. To me, that's true feminism. You cared enough to post it. No, you guys cared enough to keep DMing me to post it. I was tired of receiving DMs about it. I didn't even know about it. And like I said, listen, whenever I start talking about these topics now, I'm going to start posting people who send me the DMs to talk about it. Yes, that's real freedom. That's real liberation. It's not sitting up on the internet all day arguing with people. It's just not. I didn't even know about it. I don't even like being on social media looking at negativity. I don't. I don't like seeing that type of stuff. It was literally posted. I did not see it. I didn't see it on the Shade Room. I didn't see it on Baller Alert. I didn't really see that many people post about it, but I did see Tanya TKO, which is the only YouTuber that I will be mentioning in this video. I saw how she was getting bashed by her own following. And the thing that killed me about the situation was I'm pretty sure, I'm more than certain, because I'm a YouTuber, I'm a creator as well. Her following baited her into talking about it and then bashed her. But y'all want to talk about protect the black woman. I was on a what is the name of this? A Clubhouse room where it was talking about protect other black women. Protect other black women because you're a black woman, so you protect other black women. That was another reason why I spoke out about the situation, was because she was being bashed by black women. So because she was being bashed, I decided to give my opinion. That's the real reason I spoke out about it. Because she was out there in hot water, in fire and forest, whatever you want to call it, by herself. So I felt bad. I mean, imagine, you guys don't know what it feels like to have thousands, literally thousands of people attacking you all over an opinion. Again, I have complete control over my platform, and I made the choice to post about it. You don't have to like it. I'm not asking you guys to like anything. I'm not asking you guys to agree with everything that I do. And I'm going to still do me. You don't have to like it. It's simple. Tired of telling people, and this is another thing, as a black woman, period, I'm tired of people always telling us what we should do, what we shouldn't do, how we should do it. Listen, do you? Do you? Because I'm going to do me. I'm tired of that. You don't have to like, I'm not begging you to like me. I don't care. That's the thing that y'all don't understand. I come here to make a purpose happen for me. That's it. And my purpose is mentoring women. That's it. Helping women level up, helping women become who they want to become, not what the world expects of them. And that's what you guys don't understand. We are not the same. This is why I deleted the post. I don't need that. No one cares. People, you're going to live your whole life. Nobody's going to like you. There's going to be plenty of people not liking you. There's going to be women who are more beautiful than you. There's going to be people who don't like you. There's going to be family who thinks the least of you. There's going to be people who are always having an issue with who you are. So it's just best that you live according to your own standards, your own wants and needs. Because if you try to live up to other people, you're going to be left disappointed. You're going to be left very, very disappointed. If every black woman should do whatever they want according to how you want to be treated. If every black woman should do whatever they want, let me go back up to the top because I want to point this out. If every black woman should do whatever they want, then what's the point of your videos telling them what and what not to do according to how they want to be treated? If you want to be treated a certain way, then of course you need to carry yourself accordingly. But that's still a choice that you have to make. It's not something that you must do or you must follow. None of my commentary is. You have free will. You make your own choices in life. We all have that. So at the end of the day, you do what you feel is best for you. I can give commentary based off of my experiences and what I know, but at the end of the day, there are exceptions to the things that I say according to you being an individual. Everyone should know that, but that's common sense. I don't want a bunch of people following me being robots. I want you to be an individual. This is why I was supporting the whole divestment movement to begin with, was because if Black women are choosing to do this for themselves, you have my support. You're being an individual. Okay, Ari Miles, I made you a moderator. That's why I don't understand. Like this, I don't get it. I really don't understand this. And then it's like we police each other to a point where it doesn't even make sense. Morals, values, and principles, that makes sense. But dictating a code based off of a certain agenda, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I'm here, listen, I'm here for Black women being interracial. I'm here for them dating out. I'm here for it. I'm here for them being with other women as well. I'm here for them being sexually fluid. I'm here for them even being in polyamory relationships. Listen, marriages, if that's what's best for you, do you. But I will never in my life ever support this openly ever again. It's not worth it. It's just not. It's just not worth it. Listen, I'm removing comments. If you're in the comments stating other YouTubers, I told you guys who this was about. And I only spoke of a particular situation. But I will never openly support this ever again. Not if it's gonna bring this crowd of people. I will never do this again, ever. That's me taking accountability for those who want me to take accountability. I will never openly support this ever again. Period. That's what I'm getting from this. Yes, stop saying people's names. No, this is just negative. Like this is negativity to its finest. So, and I don't do it. I'm not here for this. I know I speak on negativity, but I try to see the positive in everything. And right now, I'm not seeing the positive in this divestment movement at this time. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not at all. Doesn't make sense at all. I'm not. Because if I'm going to be attacked by the same women that I'm trying to support, it doesn't make any sense. I see negativity. That's all I see. I don't see nothing positive in that at all. Not at all. The positive, you won't post negative things about Black women. It depends on what you consider to be negative. I spoke about, like I said, I spoke out about Summer Walker. I spoke out about Asian Doll. I spoke out about Dusty friends and women, but you got to go a little further back to see that. I talk about all the time. I'm here to talk about behavioral patterns that are self-destructive. Period. Divestment is fairly new to a lot of women who are different in parts of their journey. A lot of them don't know how to let things roll off their backs yet, because I feel like it's coming from a place of trauma. It's coming from a place of trauma. And you can't really level up if you do not heal. I don't know how else to express this to Black women. You cannot level up if you do not heal first. You just can't. And I don't know if you guys were watching Bridgerton, which I'm really thinking about doing a separate video focusing on this. But did you see how in Bridgerton, the Duke's trauma, how it had such a hold on his life? it literally it was literally ruining his life because he would not heal from his daddy issues. I'm not saying divestors are all of them are filled with trauma. I'm speaking on the ones that are. I don't stereotype people. So if you are healthy, you're divesting, I'm not speaking to you, but that's common sense. Again, common sense. It's coming from it's coming from a place of trauma, and it's literally it's trauma that is narrating your life. And what fun is that? Where's the happiness in that? Where's the fulfillment in that? Where is the love in that? Listen, maybe if black women would have sent me information on black men who are a part of the Proud Boys, maybe I would have talked about it. I talk about everything else that pertains to abusive black men. Why wouldn't I talk about that one? Listen, one thing about me, if I'm dishing it, I can take it. So if we gonna sit up here and talk about abusive black men, right? We should be able to hold ourselves accountable. I can't hold someone outside of myself accountable if I'm not holding myself accountable first. That doesn't even make sense. No, I'm not right now. Currently, I'm not seeing anything positive with the divestment movement. If you don't agree with them wholeheartedly, they bash you and they come at you sideways. So no, I'm not seeing it currently at the moment. No, I'm not. The only thing I'm getting from this is not being on code. I'm not being in the image of black women. But listen, if we're gonna start with the image of black women, if that's your angle, that's your only angle. Why do you guys support Cardi B? Why do you guys support Megan Thee Stallion? Why do you guys support people like Asian Doll, people like Bond Sister? Why do you guys support people like that? Jada Waiter, who's in a toxic relationship, but you guys praise it because she's pretty. Why? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. Like this is why I can't. Like I can't even be a part of this type of stuff because um no, divestors want to talk about the image of black women, right? And how this photo is negatively impacting black women. So is all this other stuff that we see in media and on Instagram. These girls are still getting thousands and thousands of likes. These women are still getting supported. All of them are the same to me. No, black women are still supporting Cardi B, even after the derogatory comments she has made about us. Black women still support Cardi B. Black women still support Chris Brown. Black women still support Tory Lanez. Numbers don't lie. You guys can sit up here all day and say black women divestors don't support that. Numbers don't lie, sweetie. They don't lie. Because if it wasn't all these people that I'm listing off, if it wasn't for black women, they wouldn't even be who they are today. They wouldn't even have a career. Let's call it spade a spade. These people would not have a career. They would not have a career. They would not be able to make money. I'm speaking to the people in the comment section that want to make this entire live just about that divesting. No, I'm starting to think being on code means don't hold people accountable. Doesn't matter if you're a black man or a black woman. Being on code means don't hold people accountable. Even though they're wrong. Even though they are morally wrong, don't hold them accountable though. That's what it means to be on code. Because when you really think about the history of what it really means to be on code, let's think about the OJ Simpson case. Right? No one wanted to talk about the evidence that we were seeing. Everyone was saying black people just stay on code, just stay on code, just stay on code with this one because we rarely win with the legal system. That's where it's coming from. That's the history. Black people as a collective don't know how to handle their affairs privately. If we're being real here, black people don't know how to do that. Black people. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm black women. I just want you guys to be happy, loved, appreciated, in healthy relationships. I don't care what it's labeled. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who it's with. That's it. And when it comes to social media, so many people get caught up on labels and in being with this particular group. Listen, I don't need to be with a group. I'ma still do me. So if I want to date a white man next week, a Hispanic the next week after that, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care what it's labeled. So I don't care what it looks like. We can sit up here and talk in circles all day. At the end of the day, that's all I want for you. Period. Don't care what it's labeled, what it looks like. I think it's okay to want people to do better. And the more you want people to do better, it makes the world a better place. And I feel like everyone should hold everyone accountable. Period. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. I feel like people should hold other people accountable. Period. This cold thing and all of it's just stupid to me. Yeah, thank you. Even with the R. Kelly situation, a lot of black people were staying on code with that. Like I could give so many examples, but then people are going to be like, "Oh, well, you're comparing this to women being molested or women being raped and things like that." I'm like, it's the same thing. It's literally this. It's a behavioral pattern. Like it's the same thing. I don't care how you put it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Where do you think we got it from? How do you think generational curses are even made? From accepting things, from making things normal. It's the same thing. So, of course, you're not going to see an issue with doing it with your lifestyle or your agenda. This is why I recommend therapy. So then your therapist can call you out on the things that you normalize that are actually toxic and not healthy. I really recommend therapy, seriously. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to throw shade. Like it's just real. I'm in therapy. I go to therapy. The situation's not the same, but the behavioral pattern is. And if you go to therapy, you will quickly find that out. It's psychological. It's psychological. It's not surface level. You're focused on the surface level. I'm focused on the mentality. It's way deeper than that. If it was that simple, of course, yeah, I could agree. But we're speaking on how you think things through, how you make choices, how you make decisions. It's way deeper than that. Who cares about the image? Do you? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hold on, let me answer this one. Do you really believe most Black women don't know not to date races? Like, do you think most Black women are extreme divestors? No, I don't believe that at all. I think Black women are simply interracially dating. That's what I think. I don't think the majority of women who interracially date are getting with racist men. No, I don't think that at all. But that's just common sense to me. I mean, statistically speaking, do you think women, Black women who interracially date, do you think their marriages would be as successful as they are? Like, let's use our common sense here. Do you think interracial relationships with Black women would be as successful as they are if they were with racists? So Black men, this is why I don't care what Black men think and the opinions that they give, because a lot of times it doesn't make any sense. No, you guys are blowing up an isolated incident. You guys are blowing it up. You guys decided to take the post negatively. The post was about using your personal discernment. That's all it was about. Y'all made it about the image, and y'all made it. Listen, if this is a Black woman that's happy, whether you agree with it or not, if she's happy, she's being looked after. The only way you can see it negatively is if you found an issue with the image, which you did. That means you feel that it's morally wrong, right? Right? You feel that it's morally wrong. That's the only reason why you found an issue with it. Me, I didn't care. If she wants to be with a man like that, she wants to be with a man like that. That's not my business. It's not my place. And if you went back and you looked at the comment or the description, I never spoke on her. Why? That's not my business. If she wants to be with that man, she wants to be with that man. She looks happy to me. She looks like she's well taken care of. She looks healthy to me. Do I agree with the image? No. No, I don't. But if she's comfortable, she's happy, she's healthy in this relationship, it ain't my business and it's not my place. Yes, this is why they're upset, because it pushes this moral reality that there are women out here that interracially date that are okay with this. That's what they're upset about. But listen, if she wants to be with a man like that, she wants to be with a man like that. What's the difference between my girlfriend wanting to be with a Dusty? She want to be with a Dusty. She want to be with a Dusty. I can either accept her for this in her choices or not. That ain't my place. That's not my business. Y'all more upset about this than your girlfriend or your homegirl being with a whole Dusty, dogging her out. And then she calling you about it. Y'all more upset about this. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're upset about, but you guys have been on this live for an hour and 4 minutes expressing how upset you are. I think that's funny. I think that's hilarious, honestly. That's the only reason why you guys are upset, is because it looks morally wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't care. It'd just be another Black woman with a white man, happy, living her best life. Because she didn't look sad. She didn't look like she was in harm's way. She didn't look upset. She looked like she was happy, healthy, and being taken care of. That's what I saw. But you secretly found an issue with it. That's why you are upset with the image. Let's call a spade a spade. Exactly. Let her be happy. That's why I didn't speak on her. I did not speak on that woman at all. I found an issue with you. Not no, you found an issue with me because of her in the photo. That's why you found an issue with me. And when we get to the bottom of why you have an issue with me, it goes right back to her in the image that you did not like because she was standing next to whom? A white man. But she looked healthy, happy, and loved to me. And if we calling a spade, if we calling a spade, I've seen black women in marriages, been in marriages for years with black men, look miserable as hell, look miserable. Don't look happy, look depressed, look like they suffering. I didn't get that in that photo at all. I didn't get that in that photo at all. But y'all didn't see that because you found an issue with the photo, with the image. You found that it was morally what? Wrong. Not my problem because that's not what I saw. If that's what she wants to do, she's healthy, she's happy, she looks great to me. Yeah. So I'm like, what's the problem here? What's the problem? This is the problem here. Y'all care too much what black men think. That's the problem. Y'all care entirely too much. Y'all care entirely too much. That's the problem. You care entirely too much. You care entirely too much. I told you guys why I posted it. I gave you several reasons why I posted it because I thought long and hard about it. I thought long and hard about posting it because I started receiving DMs Thursday, I think. Thursday, for sure Friday, and I didn't speak on it until today. But when it comes down to it, the only reason why you guys care is because of black men, because of how it looks to them. We see a black woman she looks healthy to me. She doesn't look tired. She doesn't look overworked. She doesn't look drained. She doesn't look miserable. She doesn't look like she's being a mule in her marriage or relationship. She looks healthy. Well, I can't tell because the only reason why y'all really upset about the image is because of what black men feel, what black men think and feel about it. I wouldn't give a damn if she's happy. If I'm happy, who cares? You think black men are thinking twice about them dating a white woman? No, they gonna do them regardless. I think you guys should take on that same energy. I saved the post. Do you want me to repost it, sweetie? Do you want me to repost it? Not once did I talk about the lady at all. I keep my own receipts. I'm being intellectually dishonest. Black men aren't the only. How am I being intellectually dishonest? Verbatim. Go ahead. I got time. Clearly, y'all care. Y'all care too much. That's why we're here today. This, once again, another live made about black men. I'm sick and tired of talking about black men. I've made that clear on my community tab as well. Another live dedicated to black men. Dusties. They not paying your bills. They paying my bills. I'm not gonna lie, they paying my bills. But they not paying your bills, sis. Y'all care too much. No, I asked you. I said, what was intellectually dishonest? Because if you can sit up here and say I'm being intellectually dishonest, you should be able to state why. Period. And I'm waiting. Can't go around saying things if you can't back it up. It's about our image. To whom? Because white men run this country. They may like the image. Again, black men. Black men. It's black men. You guys do care about them because you care about how that looks to them. Your image. Because you think white men is like, oh, I don't like that. They probably like, it's kind of kinky. Let's be real here. So it's not making any sense to me. Who do you think runs this country? Black men ain't running. Black men ain't running nothing here. They don't even want to compete. Listen, majority of my commentary messes up the black woman's image if we're just keeping it all the way real. If we're going to focus on issues to make change within our social group, you should look at the bigger picture. Yeah, white men might actually like the image. So who are you comparing it to if you're not comparing it to black men? We can't make change if we don't highlight the issue. We can't make change if we don't talk about the issue openly. We can't make change. Yeah, I'm tired of talking about them. Because listen, I told you, black men don't run me. Black men don't run me. They can sit up on this app on YouTube all day. I haven't had a hard time getting a date yet. Not yet. We know that black women should not date racist men, but you aren't addressing that. I mean, it's common sense. But at the end of the day, we all have our trauma and we all have our issues that we deal with. And if this black woman is getting with this racist white man, this particular white man that happens to be racist, that's still her choice. That's still a choice that she gets to make. And then to be honest, I mean, like, what time is it? It's 5:50. Um, right. I don't know why. Listen, I separate myself from people all the time because when these rappers be talking about bitches and hoes, they not talking about Yanni. And again, I've told you that intellectually dishonest, how? You can't state. I'm mad I'm late to the convo, but I'm here. Oh, we're seeing, listen, I've made self-hatred videos about black men, and at this point, it's getting old and tired because at this point, I don't care. If a black man want to get with a racist white woman, that's his problem. That's his problem. What is your explanation? Y'all don't have viable options. They just want to beat your walls loose. Who don't have who? Who? I'm abstinent. I've been abstinent for almost 8 months now. You don't have to put out, ladies. You don't have to put out to date. I don't know who needs to hear that. You don't have to put out to date. You can still go on dates. You can still have a good time. You can still live your best life. Listen, if you are not a woman who suffers from trauma pertaining to black men, and you're not using that as a source to date out, I'm not talking about you. It's simple. It's not complicated. Okay, now you're just repeating yourself. So I'm gonna have to block you because you're repeating the same thing, and I don't have time for that. Either stay how you feel or just keep it moving. Black women allowing their image to be used to soften the image of racist white men isn't a good look either. His response when he was pressed on his racism was, "My wife is Black." He put the pressure on her. And this is a conversation that Black women don't want to talk about. Listen, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I had to deal with racism at a very young age. Colorism wasn't something that I really dealt with. So, sometimes I feel like we get on this app and Black women feel like the other side is greener, when I'm like, what reality are we living in? Because the reality that I lived in was I grew up with racism. And I told you guys about my sexual assault that happened with my mentor, who happened to be a white man who was a lawyer. And I didn't get any form of justice because he knew judges. He knew other lawyers. And he was able to use his white privilege against me in my time of, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But that's my reality. But y'all think the grass is greener on the other side. And the reality is, if you do date out as a Black woman, you just have to be smart about it. Because not all white people are the same. And that was another thing that I learned at a young age, was there are good white people out here. Not all white people are racist. And I learned that at a very young age. So just use your personal discernment. Like, just be smart about it. This is what I said. You're specifically painting the narrative that people in these comments care about Black men. I never mentioned that I care about Black men. Okay, clear. It's going over your head. I'm done. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just call you Pixie. Thank you so much. I always see your comments. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the $20. No, I don't want to talk about that. This is why I have the perception and the mentality that I have because of my experiences. And this is what I want Black women to understand. You can't just give people a pass. And I used to pride myself on being a good person, and I thought that I was naive. So I thought that if I'm a good person, good things would only happen to me. And that's just not true. That's not true. And I'm not trying to get emotional, but every time I talk about it, it just really makes me upset, because it really makes me upset because so many Black women feel that it's just that simple. And the world that we live in, I wish it was that simple, but it's really not. It's really not. It's really just not that simple. But I literally walked around thinking that if I'm a good person, that's enough. That the world would be good to me for some reason. But that's just not the truth. That's just not real. And so this is why I bring the commentary that I bring. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not. Because when you walk outside, the world will eat you alive. Especially if you walk around naive. Especially if you come on this platform and you take commentary that is harmful to you as if that's real life. I feel bad. Even when I was on this app listening to commentators about hypergamy, I didn't know what I was really getting myself into. Thank you, Bookworm, so much. Love you, sis. I love your honesty and realness. You got my support. Always keep on being you and killing it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. But even when I started dating up, I didn't know what I was getting into, because when I was listening to commentators on YouTube, they made it seem like there were just things that they didn't speak on. And one of the things that they didn't speak on was there are high earning Dusties. There are high earning dusties out here. There's a difference between being a high earner and being a dusty. There's a huge difference. And it wasn't until I really got out here and realized that, because I'm like, I really had to take a step back and reflect on my life, because I'm just like, why do I keep bumping into abusive men? Whether they're dusty and broke or whether they're dusty and high earners, why do I keep bumping into abusive men? Why? That's when I decided to go to therapy. That's when I decided to look at things from a different scope and perspective. That's when I started to look at behavioral patterns. This is why I'm always talking about behavioral patterns. This is why I'm always talking about looking at things from a generational curse perspective, because a lot of times we have normalized certain behavioral patterns based off of what we have seen our parents go through, our family members go through. And then here we are following in their footsteps. So I went to therapy. I'm taking a break from dating. I'm getting myself together. I'm leveling up in a way that I've never leveled up before. And I really hope, I really hope that you guys are doing the same thing, that you guys are not doing it from a place of trauma. Because when I look back on the situation, and this is why I speak on these things, is because when I look back on the situation, I was dating from a place of trauma, you guys. I feared dating a dusty, broke man that I had ventured off because I had lost some weight. I have to keep it a stack. I lost some weight and I was attracting higher earners. And when you look on YouTube, they never separated a high value man versus a high earner. They never made that distinction within their commentary, which is my fault, because me being the consumer, right? Because basically, commentator, you're consuming this information, and that is when I realized that was my own fault, because I literally was taking word for word. I don't ever want you guys taking my commentary word for word. There are exceptions to the things that I say. Why? Because you're an individual. Life happens. Life throws you curveballs that maybe I was not thrown. That's the reality. So when I look back on the situation, I had trauma so much of dating broke men and dating men that used me for money, used me for just things that they wanted out of me, because I'm a giver. One thing that I do is I give. I give, I give, I give. I will give you the shirt off my back, but I no longer live in that energy anymore, because when you are such a big giver and you overextend yourself, you attract people that are opportunists, people who just take, and they don't give you anything back. So now I have to find the balance in giving and receiving. I was so focused on giving. I was attracting men that took. Leeches. Exactly. Leeches. So I went to therapy. I have issues with my femininity journey right now is learning how to receive. Can you believe that? Learning how to receive. Learning how to receive. I never even knew that would be a thing for me. My therapist is literally sitting me down saying, you don't know how to receive. Cadillac Boss, thank you so much. I didn't mean to trigger a bad memory, but these divestors don't understand that he is the one that put the pressure on her by trying to use the image of a Black woman to hopefully soften or shield his. Thank you so much. I understand where you're coming from, but I also understand where the divestors were coming from, as far as they don't want interracial dating with white men to be looked at as this negative thing. But what we have to do as a collective is understand that not all people are the same. Not all people are the same. So if we stop labeling everyone the same based off of outer appearance and face value, we wouldn't have this problem. Which brings me back to what I was saying earlier about me dating high earners, not understanding that high earners does not automatically mean that they are high value. So I was dating from a place of trauma because in my past, in my previous years of dating, I was being used and taken advantage of. And so I'm dating from a place of trauma. So I'm out here dating men who have money, but in reality, they just as dusty as the broke ones. So now I'm taking a break, you guys, and on dating right now. And what I mean by I'm taking a break, I'm still dating because I don't like being out of the dating scene for too long. But I'm just not taking anyone serious right now. I'm just socially dating for fun, socially dating for experiences, nothing sexual, nothing serious. Everything is very surface based, surface level. And I'm in therapy just trying to learn more about me and who I am without the trauma that I have endured over the years when it just comes to my life. Because I just don't want to be on the dating scene, just dating according to what I've been through. I just don't want that. I want to date with a clear conscience, with a clear mind, a clear mentality, a pure mentality. And I just don't want it to be influenced by my, I don't want it to be influenced by my trauma. I want to make decisions for me and not based off of what I've been through, if that makes sense. So I just want you guys to understand that, like, yes, I am a supporter of hypergamy, but at the same time, you have to use your personal discernment. The same thing that I was saying with the divestors. You have to use your personal discernment. You can't just take people's word for it or image for it. And this is why I was saying earlier in this live that you, how do I even put this? You do what's best for you according to how you want to be treated. And I don't want to be in a relationship with a man who's a high earner, but he's not of value. And I do believe that I can find a man of high value and I can find a man who makes decent money, you know? Um, but it's going to take me identifying some of these issues that I have with giving too much, not knowing how to receive. And when you give, when you overextend, because listen, there's nothing wrong with giving. I don't want you guys to ever think there's something wrong with it. It's just all the women in my family, they overextended with their giving. They would be proud, they would proudly say, I will give you the shirt off my back. But then that leaves you with nothing. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. I grew up thinking that it was okay to give someone the shirt off your back and leave yourself with nothing. And I'm coming out of that mentality as we speak. High earners be on that 50-50 sometimes because they usually come from nothing. Sometimes, yep. Or the issue that I've had so far is identity with high earning men that are dusty. They put their identity in the money that they make. They put the identity in the material things that they buy, like the cars they drive, the condo or the house they have, the jewelry that they wear, the watches that they have, the shoes that they wear, the gifts that they will gift you as well. They put their identity into those things. So one thing that was highlighted for me recently with my dating life was some of these men put their identity in these things so much to where if you take them away, they don't know who they are. And if the pandemic hasn't taught you anything, is that 1 minute you can have the world and the next minute it could be gone just like that. So I don't see value in a man who puts his identity in the things that he has. Yes, and then this is the thing. A lot of these men who are so-called high earners, This is why I don't listen to male commentators on YouTube, because a lot of it doesn't make any sense. They use the money, they use the car, they use the nice place, they use how well they're dressed to get these women, and then they get mad when the woman only wanted him when he had those things, and then now when he doesn't have those things, she don't want him no more. And then sometimes I think to myself, well, is it that she doesn't want him anymore because he put his identity in those things that he lost? You know how they love to blame women for everything. Is it that she doesn't want him anymore because he put those things, he put his whole identity in the things that he no longer has? And so she no longer wants him for that reason? I have to ask, because I really want to talk to men about this. I mean, you guys bait us with the money you have, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, the jewelry you wear. And then when you lose those things, you have to remember how you baited this woman. You lose those things, and then you realize that you lost yourself. You realize you lost yourself. I'm speaking, I honestly, I have to keep it real, you guys. I have to keep it all the way real. I've seen this mainly in high earning Black men than I have in other races of men who are high earners. Because I noticed this white guy, he didn't care. It was like he didn't care. He just didn't care. He didn't care. Black men who are high earners, they really try to keep up with the Joneses, but white men don't have that ideology. They don't have that ideology. They don't. And I have to keep it a stack, you guys. Another thing that I've noticed from opening my options is that Black men also have very low self-esteem. They don't have any self-love, collectively speaking. And it's because they don't even know how. I'm really convinced that they don't know how. I don't think they know. I don't even think they know. I don't think they know how to love themselves. And honestly, I started seeing the pattern. It's weird because lately I've just been dating lightheartedly, not seriously. I'm in the process of creating a new roster soon. Like I will be, not soon, but like I will get to a point where I will create a real roster where I have perspectives that I can like, or prospects that I can take seriously. But for right now, it's just very lighthearted. But those were some of the things that I was looking at. I'm like, if you don't have any self-love as a Black man and you put everything into the material things that you own, I can't be with you. I can't be like, you can't lead me. Why? Because you're being led by something outside of yourself. Black men need healing. My ex-fiance refused to seek therapy and I had to leave him. It's just trauma passing down to the next. Exactly. Londa B. I stayed buried in my work to avoid dusties. There's nothing wrong with that, but I have to be real. When you stay buried in your work, you miss out on experiences. Because I used to be just like you. I used to think when things didn't go my way, when it came to men and dating, I would just bury myself in work. And that's not healthy either. You need to socialize. You know, you need to engage with people. It doesn't have to be men if you're not into that, but if you are trying to be taken serious, you can't be off the dating scene. I won't say market, but dating scene for long. You still need you need to engage. You need to interact so that you can still learn and get experience to know more about you. That's another thing. Use dating to get to know more about you. Don't use dating for men. This is why I say, like, giving men so much credit, it goes so much deeper than attention and things. Date for you. Don't date for a husband. Don't date to fall in love with somebody's son. Like, literally date for you. Get to know you. Get to know who you are. Get to know the things that you like. Get to know how you want to be treated in a relationship with a man. Stop making the men the focus, because when you do, you will be left disappointed. You will be left disappointed. You will be left disappointed. So I know, it's so typical for us to date to get a man. No, date to get to know you. I really want that to become a movement, because we live in a society where it's date to get a man, date to get a man. That's the narrative. But you learn so much when you date. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about who you are as a woman. So if you're taking on a feminine level up journey, please understand that it's about you in everything. In everything that you do, in who you are, it's about you. This is why I'm tired of talking about men, period, on my platform. And it's not because I'm bitter, I'm angry. I'm happy. I have my moments where I'm not, and then I have my moments where I am. I go back and forth and things like that. But I think that's pretty typical, considering that we are in the middle of a pandemic, a lockdown. But I'm learning to prioritize myself and what that truly means for me. This is why I was saying earlier, I don't care what men think. Like, it's not a front. It's not a gimmick. It's not because I'm trying to pretend like I'm unbothered. It's because I truly don't care. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And I want more women to take on this mentality. I want more women to put themselves first. If you want a husband, you can find a husband by making dating about you, and you will find the husband that you want. Oh, you're married to a Hispanic man. I feel you. You always try to balance out situations. Just got out of a 4-year relationship, and I'm just going to work on myself and pray that as I elevate, the love comes naturally. Yes, I'm in an energy now where I'm allowing people to come to me, but I want to explain how. I'm putting out the energy that I want. This is why when I date, I'm not trying to be bitter. I'm not trying to be angry. I'm not trying to come from a spiteful place. I'm really trying to come from a healing place, because when you date, you attract what you put out, what you put off with your aura, with your energy. So you just have to be careful. And I can honestly say, up until this point, I don't think I've ever dated healed, healthy. I've always dated from trauma. And it's more common than you really think. I feel like every woman should date out, date open, leave your options open. Why? Because it gets men to compete for you. The more options you have, the more these men will compete for you, for your attention, to invest in you. And I would also, this is just advice. All of my commentary is advice, you guys. You don't have to live by the things that I say. It's just advice. You have free will. We have our own choices. You are an individual. I'm an individual. And you have to sit down as a woman and decide what is best for you. Because it looks differently depending on the woman, the individual. But I will say this. One thing that I learned recently is to hold back on posting so much of myself on social media, like my personal life, my routine, things that I do. And the reason, I even made a fake Instagram account. I made a fake Instagram account, a family Instagram account where I don't have any I don't have any of you guys following me on there. And the reason is because now when I date, I give out that Instagram. And I don't post that much. I don't post much about myself. I update, I may post certain things and things like that. But I really hold back a lot on social media. And I just wanted to explain why. When you post your whole life on social media, men don't have to work for you. You're not a mystery to them. They can go to your story. They can go to your Snapchat. They can go to your Twitter and learn all about you. So you know what that does? That's a man that's not investing in you at all. And he doesn't have to. He's getting to know you off of social media. He's getting to know all about you. But you know what that takes away from you as a woman? Investment. You know what that takes away from you as a woman? Time. Quality time that you would spend with him. Something that I recently learned. So just be a little more selective about what you post to social media. Because you're taking the fun out of courtmanship. You're taking the fun out of a man really trying to invest time and energy and money into you by simply getting to know you. This is why this generation courtship is dead, is because we have women all over social media posting everything about them, about themselves, for basically men who they're trying to date to see. So they don't even feel like they need to invest in you, because they could just go to your social media and they're like, well, I already know what your favorite color is. Well, I already know what you like. Well, I already know what what movies you like, what you listen to. I already know all about you. So I don't need to invest my money, my time into you. And it sucks. When I'm ready to get back in the dating world, I'm definitely dating outside my race. It's nothing against the black men race. I just haven't had any luck. I love your videos. Thank you so much, and good luck. Good luck with that. Seriously. And I feel like whatever you want, you will receive it if you keep your standards high. If you keep your standards, you'll be just fine. If you lower your standards, you're not going to get what you want. And that's just the reality of the situation. Social media can definitely ruin your dating life. I recently, I learned that. I learned that. And I didn't understand why, but now it's starting to click to me. This is why. Mystery is highly attractive. And that is Lori Harvey's secret. Lori Harvey will come on and she'll post, she's very tit for tat. She's very selective. She's very particular. That's her secret, though. That is her secret. That is her holy grail. That is her secret. And I don't think women see that. Keep it up, love bug. You are dropping gems. Thank you so much, DD. Thank you so much for the $14.99. I'm going to keep this live up. I was thinking about deleting it because I don't like being angry, you guys. I don't like being upset. I don't like being in that energy because it just drains me. But I just want you guys to be happy, loved, appreciated in careers that you want to be in. If you want to be a career woman, healthy, just happy, because life is really too short. No, I don't even like, besides one, she was on the episode, The Game. And that was the first time I think I've ever really heard her talk. Oh, no. She was on, I think it was Hollywood Unlocked or Access Hollywood or something like that, where she was sitting down with her mom and she was talking about how she was starting to date and things like that. But outside of that, I haven't heard Lori talk at all. And I really like that about her. She's a mystery and everyone wants to know her secret. Like, imagine the whole internet wants to know your secret, and we don't know because you don't entertain us at all. Yes, it's Raven Smith. It's the most challenging thing I have ever experienced in my life. She said, I understand your frustration. It's not easy trying to maneuver and send a message to a whole population of people. It definitely keeps me on my toes. And you're always going to offend someone. And I'm the type of person where I try not to offend people, but some things just need to be said. And I'm tired of watering myself down. I'm tired of putting myself in this cage. And I'm coming out the cage, you guys. I'm coming out of the cage. And I have to be real. I put myself in this cage, and I want you guys to understand this. I put myself in this cage because it was safe. I put myself in this cage because if I was in this cage, which was molded according to society, the standards of society, men, family, friends, just people. I put myself in this cage because I knew it was safe. I knew I wouldn't offend anyone. I knew I wouldn't hurt anyone. I knew I wouldn't get bashed if I stayed in this cage. I knew nothing would hurt me, harm me. And part of that was also my trauma. Always trying to please everyone. So I put myself in this cage. And now I'm coming out the cage. I'm really, really about to show you guys what being free looks like. And part of that is not caring what others think, not comparing yourself to others, to do what is best for you, not based off of your trauma that is not healed. Allowing your trauma to narrate your life. Because if I continue to allow my trauma to narrate my life, I would still be in the cage, afraid to come out, afraid to explore, afraid to learn life for me and not for what YouTube commentators put on here. So it's not, I don't want you guys to agree with me on everything. I don't. I truly don't. Why? Because you're not free when you do that. You're not free. I want you guys to think for yourself. I want you guys to be a woman that is outspoken. Not afraid to speak up for yourself, not afraid to state how you feel, not afraid to speak on things that you've gone through, experiences that you've had. Not afraid to just be free, because that's what it really means. And I used to pride myself on being confident and but in reality, I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident. Why? Because I was still limiting myself to the expectations of others, what others wanted of me. So I want you guys to be free birds. I want you guys to come out the cage. And if that means you're out here dating out, so be it. If you want to, as much as I'm not really feeling women who taking on the label of being a divester, listen, sis, if that's what you want to do, you coming out of the cage, I'm here for it. If there are any lesbians on here, you're coming out of the cage, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. Because I know what it feels like to be trapped. I know what it feels like to feel like if I'm just myself, they're not going to like me. F that. F that. F that. So if you're going to follow me out the cage, because that's where we're headed right now. Follow me out the cage. So, and it's funny because my therapy sessions are coming out in my commentary. I don't know if you guys are picking that up, but my therapist said, you're just a cage bird. But she was like, if you would just come out the cage and stop being afraid. And let me tell you guys this too. Fear is what kept me in that cage. It wasn't people. It was fear. It was the anxiety, having thoughts about things that they're not even happening. Instead of thinking the most positive thing, I think the worst. So I just stay in the cage. Well, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out the cage. I don't want to come out the cage because it's safe in here. I like it here. But my therapist, she's telling me that you have to come out the cage because the only thing that's truly holding you back is not people, it's not the world, it's fear. And where does it come from, right? The fear comes from making the wrong choice, making the wrong decision. That's where the fear is coming from. That is where the fear really comes from. It comes from a place of making the wrong choice, making the wrong decision, making a mistake. But I recently learned that if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. And when you don't make mistakes and you're not learning, you're not growing. And when you're not growing, you're in this stagnant energy and you're just a caged bird. Yes, fear. And a lot of black women they fear dating out. They fear it. And you shouldn't fear it. You shouldn't fear it. You should fear not. You should fear staying in the cage. And then in the cage, you're dreaming about what life could be. That's prison. It's prison to be in that fear where it's keeping you in this cage. So I want black women to come out of the cage. I don't care if it's based off of sexuality, cutting off your hair, going natural, putting a perm back in your hair. Putting a perm back in, girl, if that's what you want to do, sis, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Locking your hair, like truly being free. Like it's important. It's time for us as black women to truly be free. Truly be free. Stop comparing things that we do. Stop getting validation. One thing that I learned about black people, right? Whenever we label something ghetto, whenever we label something bad, it's always compared to white. It's always compared to something white. I want to cut my hair off too, you guys, but I also want to straighten it. I'm trying to grow my hair, but I'm trying to cut it off, but I keep going back and forth. Don't be surprised if I pop up on YouTube with my hair completely cut off because I keep going back and forth. Just don't be surprised. So even if you don't want to put crack back in your hair, listen, just be free. Just be free. So I love the lock look. I think the lock look is gorgeous. I have two friends that recently just locked their hair and it's just bomb. And if you're just now starting a lock journey and you want to add extra length to it, oh my gosh, I didn't know how easy it would be to do that with just doing faux locks. And then you already have a lock created. It's actually way easier than you think. So I thought that was pretty cool seeing black women take on the lock journey and seeing how it's so easy to manage. And if you're worried about length, you can always add extensions to them. I thought that was so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yes, they have, Deborah, they have beautiful locks. Chloe and Haley. Yes, I don't like being on negative stuff. I told y'all, it drains me. It really does. So this is why I haven't been on YouTube though, because honestly, I've been mentoring and it's really taking off, and I'm really blessed, you guys. And I get to talk to people like this. I don't have to talk about gossip. It's really nice. It's a nice switch up. You have to take off those locks though. Hold on. Take out the locks. Yes. Yeah, lock extensions are the truth. Crochet in human hair if you're not ready to start off short. Yep. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, like this doesn't seem bad at all. And then I heard you can also comb them out. I heard you can comb them out. So I don't know what to do. I'm so indecisive right now. Thank you so much. It has been great for me. It has. And it's really a blessing for me. I love helping people. I love giving back. Um, I love what I do. I can say that. I love what I do. I really do. How people leave them in for months. Yeah, I see a lot more black women getting locks lately. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Ooh, I should roll a dice. That would make me that would make my decisiveness go away. Seriously. Oh, it may break. Yes, we have so many options, and this is why I talked about this on my live, but I guess I'll put it in here as well. I really want more black women to experiment because I don't feel like we do. I feel like because of society, standards, men, white supremacy, colorism, texturism, I feel like it holds us back from really being who we want to be, really tapping into our identity. And we're afraid to explore. We're afraid to experiment. We're afraid to leave the cage again. So I really feel like it's not even just black women dating other races of men, but take on a whole new culture. Like really merge yourself into a whole new culture, a whole new way of living. Even if you wanted to do that, lately I've been watching black women who live in China and other places outside of the U.S. I think it's so cool to see how blog channels. I think it's so cool to see how they live and how it's just so different, you know. And I don't know. I just think it's so cool. Also, experimenting with music, food, hobbies, again, cultures, books. Did I say music? I think I said music. Yes, music. Right now, I'm really getting into jazz with an instrument, like sometimes with piano, or I'm really getting into jazz right now. I'm really, really digging jazz. And also, I'm taking a break from wine right now, but I was trying out different wines and things. Um, Even different coffees too. I don't know if you're a coffee drinker, but trying different coffees, like just when you're in the store, right? Why get the same regular thing that you've always got? Why not get something different? Why not get something that you wouldn't get? So I just want to see more black women like literally explore because I feel like for generations and generations and generations we've played it safe. We've stayed in this cage, and I'm learning the beauty of coming out of the cage and like just experimenting with different things. Maybe not coffee, maybe tea. Try different teas. Another thing that I want to try is I want to try hot yoga. Maybe even try different workouts. Um, Trying to think. Maybe a different podcast that you wouldn't normally listen to. Getting to cooking, trying different recipes, trying like taking a recipe from, I don't know, YouTube or a blog or Pinterest and creating a new meal. Just really experiment. Maybe even make it a goal to find maybe through three new meals that you want to add to your regular or your usual. Like really just switch it up and have fun. Ooh, coconut tea sounds good. Ooh, I'm gonna have to try that. Sinclair, Isis Sinclair. I'm gonna have to try that. Spirituality is another one. But really just explore, even though I get bashed for exploring my spirituality. But I can say I at least did it. Even if it's not something that I stick to, I can say I tried it, I liked it, I didn't like it, it worked for me, it didn't work for me. That's why you want to get out and experiment. And the more you experiment, the more men cannot take advantage of you, sweetie. This is why I want you guys to get out and experiment. The more experience that you gain through experimenting, the less men will be able to take advantage of you. The less men will be able to use you. The less men will be able to target you in a way that they are able to take advantage. So the more you get out here and experiment and you interact with different cultures, different men, different music, different concerts when they start back up again. Oh my gosh. Is it Yami? Is it Yami? Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you so much. Hold on. I'm currently learning a new language. Okay, you learning a new language too? Ooh, you like hard metal and rock. Hold on, you guys are coming in fast now. Okay, so I'm assuming it's Chocolate Queenin 23. You should just do vegan meals. You don't have to go vegan. Listen, I still do keto meals, but I'm not keto. Just do vegan meals. I've done vegan meals. I'm not vegan. I've done keto meals. I try to stick to low carb though, nothing else. But I'm just out here experimenting with different things. Um, the other day I did make plant-based lasagna, but I still use ground beef. But I use plant-based noodles. And that's not a label. Like I'm not on a diet. I just ate it. I just wanted to try it. So you don't have to be, and this is another thing. You're an individual. You don't have to be a part of a group or a community. If you want to eat some vegan meals, eat you some vegan meals, sis. So it's Tremez. Tremez, is that how you pronounce it? Just keep doing the thing from London, UK. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Shout out to London. I don't know who else is on here from London, but shout out to London. Also, if you need some grounding, I don't know if you guys are into spirituality, but you should try fasting. I love fasting. Fasting works for me as well. Lots of water. I like to put, if you're wanting to detox, you can always put some lemon in your water. Drink on that all day. Well, Keisha, yes. And the fact that you wanted to send me 2222, girl, I've been seeing 222 a lot, 1111 a lot, and 444. And I also see 555 a lot. I'm getting a lot of angel numbers as of lately. So thank you so much. Ooh. Ariana Grande and Tyler the Creator's concert. There were so many different cultures there. Energy was everything. I'm sure. See, that's the type of energy and people that I want to be around. I want to be around diversity and just a different mixture of people. If you guys follow me on Instagram, New Year's Eve was amazing. I was around good people, good energy. It was just so much fun. Oh my gosh. I was safe about the gathering. We took temperatures and things like that, but I was just around diverse group of people and we prayed and everything. It was just a really good time. I really enjoyed myself, honestly. And sometimes when I speak on diversity, it's not so much race. Sometimes it's sexuality. Sometimes it's lifestyles. Sometimes it's having a hippie friend, and then maybe my other friend is more conservative. I just like being surrounded around women like that, people like that. They challenge you. They challenge you to think differently. They challenge you to think outside the box. They challenge you to form different perspectives, because we all live different lifestyles and we all go through different experiences. So it helps me bring balanced commentary to my platform. So it opens your mind a lot. And I think you guys are seeing a huge difference in my content by just surrounding myself around a very diverse group of people and understanding people more, understanding where they come from. So I think, and that's another thing, when you experiment, do that with a diverse group of people, even girlfriends. I agree with cultural differences. So it's very interesting. So it's not even just men, you guys, like experiment with girlfriends as well. And trying to think, because lately I've befriended a Hispanic girl, an Asian girl. So, and learning more about colorism, I can tell you this now, colorism is in every cultural group. Lord, that is what I've learned. It is in every cultural group. Yes. And I feel happy. And that's the number one thing that I've learned, CC, is that this is a great recipe for a wonderful, more fulfilling life. It really is. It really, really is. Oh, you're Afro Latina, and it's heavy. It's heavy. Your bestie is Hispanic. Okay. Yes. Colorism is definitely universal for sure. Befriend genuine people who see past the BS. All cultures experience. Yep. I could not agree more. Um, when I was growing up, I kind of went back and forth. Like at first, I went to an all black school, and I had all black girlfriends. Then I went to a predominantly white school, and that's when I started. I had white girlfriends and black girlfriends. After I graduated, I don't know who else can relate to this. After I graduated, I was struggling with just life because, as a black person, you go off to college, you get a free ride. Your parents just kind of like drop you. They don't really support you. They're like, oh, she got a free scholarship. We don't have to pay for anything. Like, we're just going to drop her off at school. And that's just that. Whereas my white friends were being supported. And so during that time, I was being neglected based off of, again, generational curses. And I just couldn't relate to my white girlfriends anymore at the time because I was struggling. They weren't. They were being supported, financially being supported by their parents, and I wasn't. And so we just couldn't relate. So then that's when I started hanging around black girls again. I started hanging around more black people because I could relate to them more. But now I'm getting back to a place in my life where I'm elevating. And so now there's just certain black people I don't relate to anymore. That's just the reality of the situation. So my life has always been very balanced, very diverse. And, you just go through those different phases in your life. So yeah, that's the best way that I can explain it. It seemed my parents dropped me in 12th grade. Well, my parents weren't that bad then, I guess. They waited until I at least got the degree. I mean, not the degree, but they waited until at least I got the scholarship. So now I'm seeing the pattern with myself though. I go my social groups are dictated by who I can relate to in the phase of my life at the moment. We need more of that. She said, my mom paid my tuition and supported me my whole college career. See, those were my white friends. And I just couldn't relate to them because things were just so easy for them. Things were so easy for them and so hard for me. So I'm happy to see that you guys are being well supported. My parents at the time, I think they regret it, but at the time, they definitely regret it. They had that, oh, if I had to struggle, you have to struggle mentality. And they really do regret it now. So just the other day, my dad bought me tires for my car. I literally dropped my car off at his house and I went to pick it up because he gave me a car to drive while he took care of my car, and I didn't have to pay for anything. So I think they're out of that mentality that their kids need to struggle because they struggled. And I think that's a mentality that happens a lot within the Black community. I agree, Glamorous Wallflower. Elevation being Black should coincide, and I really hope we can't get to a point where they aren't spoken in separation. Oof. Mm, what a word. How have I been making friends in the pandemic? Instagram. Instagram. Now dating, that's been a little different because I don't like people. I don't like meeting men off of the Instagram, my business Instagram. I don't like meeting men off of there. That I haven't already met at least. So the Hinge app is the only app that I can really vouch for. I don't like Tinder, but I was watching Pretty Brown Baby Doll on YouTube. So happy for her. She's she's getting married, and I was reading in the comments that a lot of the girls was meeting men off of Tinder. And I'm like, Tinder? Maybe I really need to open my options more because I thought Tinder was like such a hookup app. So I just, stayed clear of it. But now I'm like, maybe I should go ahead and reactivate. Well, my Tinder account should still be up, but like I deleted the app off my phone because I'm just like, I don't have time. I don't have time. You met someone off the Black app? See, I need to stop playing with my life. I thought first of all, the Black app, it just looks like Dusty Galore. So I get depressed when I get on the Black app. But listen, clearly I need to just be strong and hang in there or something because the Black app is just, I don't know. The Tinder, I'm scared of that as well. Really? Oh, we've moved on to something else. I'm sorry. Like this live is almost 2 hours long. So let me go ahead and end this live so we can stay on topic here, I guess. I'll have to do another live, but it ended well. I'll say that. It got better. You just don't use it. Yes, Nicole, it was dusty. I mean, I was swiping and just sneezing. It was so bad. Swiping and sneezing, swiping and sneezing, swiping and sneezing, swiping and sneezing, swiping and sneezing. I said, dang, I need to take some allergy medicine because it is bad on here. But you guys have a beautiful night. And hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you don't, well, I'm not apologizing for it because I told y'all I'm coming out the cage. You can either like it, love it, or not. So y'all have a nice night. And I wish you well on this journey of experimenting and coming out of the cage because you are a free bird. Okay? Good night.